got to
Oh
start
yeah,
looking into that. I got to look into that
I
as
was
well.
looking at some other things too.
Yeah, let me know what
So,
you come up with. You know,
oh okay.
because that definitely will work and it'll help. Um, let's see. I got to make sure we live or whatever. Look like. Let me know what you come up with. Okay, that's good. Sounds good. Sounds good. All right. So, like I said, Bills might not be here. He said he'd come in late, if anything. He
Yeah, he
has a.
said, "Screw you guys."
All right.
Like I just
Nah, he got a little rehearsal thing going on. You know, his music thing is taking off, so that's great. So if he comes in, that'll be more the merrier. This is going to be episode 74 of the first and Framerates podcast. It's going to be so far me and myself, DJ 81. Like we said earlier, Bills may show up, he may not. He has another engagement that goes along with his singing career. So if he shows up, great. If not, we're still going to bring these topics to you like we know how. Um, Myself, I'm VF Baller. You can catch me on Twitter at VF Baller. You can catch us on iTunes, SoundCloud if you're not catching us live. But if you are here live, we definitely appreciate you coming through. And like I said, this is the 74th episode. We're doing it early because 4th of July is tomorrow. So we're not going to be doing a podcast on the holiday. So with that being said, DJ, what's been going on with you?
man, nothing much. Just been relaxing this week. No apprenticeship this week. Well, actually, there was a miscommunication, but no apprenticeship until like Saturday or whatever. Just been playing No Man's Sky. Just been waiting for that update to come up and just minding the fuckery on my Twitter timeline.
Well, there's a lot.
So,
There's a lot
oh
going on, man.
yeah, and one thing, if anyone is interested, I will be doing a stream on my channel, Battlefield 4. Y'all want to come through, play, open invite.
So when are you actually doing the stream?
I was thinking around like 12 noon, 1 o'clock. I figured, it'll probably be hot in most places. People want to stay in for a little bit, give it enough time that we can get in a good few games and stuff like that. And then, everybody goes about their merry way.
That sounds good. If I'm still at the house, I might jump on with you. We're supposed to be going to a family member's house and celebrate the 4th over there. So, but if I'm here, I will definitely be in that that stream with you, and we could go a few rounds. Me personally, I still think that's the best shooter this generation, even though it came out last generation. So so that's like it's crazy how good that game really is. As for me, man, listen, around this time of the year we usually do we talk about college football. The game's not coming out obviously because of Ed O'Bannon. So I've been playing a lot of NCAA 14. I've been playing a lot of NCAA 08. Just getting my college football fix because I see a lot of people. You'll probably see it within the next couple of weeks or so. A lot of people be down and out because a new game is not showing up. I'm not one of those types. I try to improvise. So with that being said, even though there's not a new game, I'm still going to try to enjoy the college game. So that's what I've been doing for the most part, and that's pretty much it, man. Just knowing that I'm just trying to fall back and just try to enjoy games as usual. A lot of stuff going on Twitter. I guess we'll touch on that a little bit before the episode's out. Um, and for the most part, I just try to use this avenue to get away from a lot of stuff because it's stuff it could get to you and make you headache after a while. So let's get into the podcast. First and foremost, there's two things. One, we're finally have an affiliate with the channel or with the podcast.
Yay!
Yeah, I know, right? They pretty much gave me free reign to pretty much talk about what they have in store. I don't have a script to read or anything, but they just want to
sound like one though.
It probably will. You're right. So
the typical way VF will read one.
All right, so this episode is going to be brought to you in part by Intro Champ. If you're now just starting out with YouTube or you had a YouTube channel and you just can't find that right intro for your channel, I know for myself when I had my virtual footballer channel, I used Intro Champ a good bit, and it brought a lot of engagement within the community and people who didn't even know about the sim community. So with that being said, if you're expanding your horizon or you're trying to get to another demographic with your channel or your live stream or whatever, Intro Champ has a lot of different type of intros that you can use, whether it just be sports gaming, regular gaming, first person shooters, RPGs. They have plenty of them that you can use for a really cheap price. And if you use the link in the description, it will be in the description not only for the YouTube channel but for SoundCloud and for iTunes. And I'll also put it up on my Twitter bio. If you use that link, you will get a discount based off of what they're offering without using the link compared to what you have using our affiliate link. So it, like I said, it is a very good intro based website for people who are using, you know, videos or even live streams. I highly recommend it. I used it on the old channel. For some reason, I haven't used it on this channel, but at the same time, I haven't been making a lot of videos. But with the fact that they are an affiliate with us now, I may start using the intro so people who are still interested in just looking at the stuff on the website may can actually see what the intros look like. They're very high quality. And they're very animated, and they really get the point across of what you're trying to do on your channel. So once again, the affiliate link is introchamp.com/?r, the letter R, the equal sign 25. Once again, that's introchamp.com slash ?r equal sign 25. It's right there in the link in the description. And like I said, it'll be all over our other platforms, SoundCloud, iTunes, and as well it's going to be in my YouTube, I mean, I'm sorry, my Twitter bio. So you guys check it out. Let us know what you think. And if you are aspiring to be a YouTube personality, or you just already do live streams, this is a fantastic avenue to start off getting your intros, getting more people engaged. So there you go with that. Also, if you haven't heard today, before we get into the topics, one of my favorite players in college football passed away. I didn't too much care for the team he played for, but I love watching him play. And if you didn't know who Jared Lorenzen was, they used to call him Hefty Lefty. He was one of probably the only quarterback that I know that played in 1A football, college football, and also he played in the NFL. And there were times he was up to over 300 pounds actually playing football in the NFL and the college. One of my favorite players to watch. He was actually pretty talented at the position, and it sucks that he passed away. He was only 38 years old. Knowing with his weight and everything, he always had problems with his weight, but it never stopped him from playing the sport that he loved, and for him to be actually good at it was made it even much better. So rest in peace to Jared Lorenzen. You can just go on Twitter, you can look him up, go on YouTube as well, look at some of his highlights. Wasn't one of the greatest quarterbacks in the world, but he was very fun to watch, and it kind of sucked that he's not with us anymore. And maybe hopefully if I pull up a NCAA 14 or any of my old college games, maybe I could pull him up and actually run a few games with him, because I actually thought that he was a very interesting college. In some cases, he was a pretty good NFL player as well. But with that being said, our topics. NBA 2K20 news just came out. WNBA free agencies are going crazy. People are actually going crazy with these Madden rookie ratings. And
Yeah, the shit is ridiculous. It's week number 2, mini meltdown, Madden community.
right, exactly. And we also have WWE going on. We do have some information that DJ wanted to share with us. Without further ado, man, which one you want to tackle first?
Let's talk about this. Let's talk about the 2K. Let's go in order. Let's go with NBA 2K20 and
Okay.
the free agency.
Okay, so with NBA 2K20, we figured out that you only have not only any real NBA news, you have a lot of WNBA news, and a lot of people was freaking out about 2K quote unquote stole from live or whatever. They don't even know what the WNBA entails for 2K. They just know that there's going to be some WNBA players in the game. Me personally, I think it's a great idea. At the end of the day, I would love to see them with their own game, but that may be too expensive. But with that being said, it's good that they are in a game, and hopefully this game here will represent them a little bit better than they did with live, because live had them doing some weird stuff on the court that kind of broke the immersion for me, to make me not really want to play with them. So maybe 2K will do a better job. Your initial thoughts about the WNBA, and not only that, the covers of 2K20. What are your thoughts, DJ?
Now, I'm glad the WNBA, and we've kind of seen that this was going to happen with 2K. I like the fact that the WNBA is in both basketball games, not just one, but two, both basketball games. Now, if live is going to come out at some point with any information, that's what they're going to do. But one of the biggest things I hope with 2K with the inclusion of the WNBA is that one, they do them justice. If from the first looks, it looks like they're already got that started with just the body scans and stuff like that.
Yeah, they look real. They look real authentic.
Yeah, and two, I hope that there's a franchise mode that's sitting there for them to use. And, that would be nice if the WNBA right out the gate with 2K has, and not just the franchise mode, but also have a career mode featuring the WNBA players, and that'll pop in, whether you choose a male baller or a female baller. So it's one of those things where, inclusion wins. It was going to win eventually. It wasn't something that's being shoehorned or whatnot. I definitely laugh at all the people. Hey, what's up, Pete? I definitely laugh at all the people that sat there and were either complaining about, okay, well, they get in 2K, we're gonna be doing all this. Like I seen one meme where one person was like, I wish female baller would play on my part. We'd be blocking shots and doing this all day. I was like, you know what? There are no rules in that, so they may be doing the same thing that they did in live, which is okay. But when you come to the play now aspect and hopefully a franchise mode, that will actually solve a different problem. If they do a franchise mode, that will actually help with exposure and marketing.
Yeah, I think
The
because I think.
cover,
Oh, go ahead. No, go ahead. Go ahead. You good?
yeah, the cover. I'm not really into the covers. I'm like that's the second time that Anthony Davis has been on the cover.
And that's like his second time in what 3 years. I mean, that's like really fast.
Yeah. So he's been on there before, so no big deal there. The Dwayne Wade cover is pretty nice.
Yo, I love that
Bad
cover.
thing is the bad thing is the Miami Heat just retired that Vice City
But
jersey, which is not sitting well with Heat fans.
No, it's not. But do you think that as far as the cover itself, does that help the cover rarity, or does it think? I mean, because me personally, I want that cover. I want to buy that game for that cover. I think it's a phenomenal cover. It looks really good, but I think it helps 2K in the long run because they're not. I mean, because Miami is stupid and they're dumb for doing that, but they basically retired the jersey, which, like I said, was stupid. But
Mm-hmm.
I think it helps add value to that cover, because I think somewhere down the road when you look at like commemorative stuff for certain players, like down the road when people start collecting stuff for Kobe Bryant or for Shaq, for instance, like Kobe was on the cover of 2K17 Legendary, and that was a good looking cover. Or you have like you can even go further back with the Michael Jordan one from 2K11. Like when you start going back and people start snatching up some of this stuff, I think this stuff could actually be worth a handful of money. So I mean, I think in that aspect, I think the Dwayne Wade one will probably be will skyrocket as far as covers and athletes memorabilia. But I'm on board with it. This is the one Legend edition that I actually approve of. I actually like. It looks really good.
Yeah, so I know I'm not spending that much money, I'm not planning to spend that much money just because of the cover. I already think that 2K is the better game. It has its improvements that it has to go through. It'll be, I guess, year 3 of trying to improve the player interactions. So I really hope that when these blogs start coming out, and believe me, it's just like, it's not thirsting for gameplay footage like it is for Madden with their bare bones blogs and explanations about the gameplay improvements. I want to see how because it's going to be pretty hard to top the last few years that they've done, because my question is, besides the gameplay, what can they do? Like, how can they freshen up my league and my GM? How can they, if they, I think if with the WNBA, if they are going to include a franchise mode, I think that's one way. If that's what they're going to do, but it's going to be really hard. I think we may be looking at a game that may just be a bit of a touch up and mostly gameplay improvements, but we'll
All right,
see.
would that, I mean, let's be honest. Would that be a bad thing? Because you got to think about it, 2K19, even with its flaws and its problems, it's still a phenomenal game. I mean, it really is. This game is really good, even with the issues that it has. With
Mm-hmm.
2K20, I honestly don't know what they need to do to improve the gameplay. I know Bills was saying earlier this week that he had some issues with the game, but even then, I don't think these are issues to the point where it's like I can't do anything with 2K19 anymore, and I can't play. This is a game right now. I think NBA 2K19 is a game, and me and you've been on record that have been wanting this for a while. These are one of these type of games that we could play for a couple years and wait for another game. As far
Mm-hmm.
as what they have on the court, it's like these yearly releases. You don't have that much depth in a lot of yearly releases, or you don't have enough time to go into everything the game has. So a yearly release will look nice. That's why everybody be chasing down Madden, or in some cases they look at PES or whatever the case may be. Even though PES is a great game, NHL is a great game, but a lot of that stuff is left to be desired. I think MLB The Show, outside of their flaws with the bat and the ball physics, MLB The
Mm-hmm.
Show and NBA 2K, these are two games right now that, yeah, they come out yearly, but you're not really pressed to try to say, I really need to know what's coming up with the next game because this game left me, it left me with nothing to look forward. I mean, it left me with something to look forward to next year. Like if you play NBA 2K19, you got a fulfillment of good basketball, and
Well,
that's something hard to say with some of these sports titles.
now Pete in the chat, he says, can my league be played online with other users? Currently, yes.
Yeah,
They do have a My League online. They spent this past year with 19 improving the functionality of it. I really don't know the status of their servers. Last I remember, their servers were crap. But you know what? Actually, I did play a few games. Not my part, not the park or anything like that. But I played online a few times. I didn't really get some of the static that I've witnessed in the past. So yeah, you can play My League online with other users. So that's available.
I think that's one thing that a lot of people that don't really want to talk about with NBA 2K. I mean, their servers, at least since NBA 2K16, their servers been pretty good. They've been pretty good throughout the last 3 or 4 years, but their track record for having bad servers has been so abysmal. It's like nobody really wants to praise them for it, but their servers have been pretty good. Now, I haven't played a My League game or My League online, so
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. But I know, like, if you're playing like in the park, or if you're playing at the rec center, or if you're playing at the casino, I haven't had any problems with that online aspect. But like I said, My League could be a totally different animal because you're dealing with so much. You're basically dealing with a whole bunch of franchise modes or dynasty mode in one. It's kind of like the
Mm-hmm.
situation that MLB The Show has. I mean, MLB The Show, that's another untold story that's in the sports gaming community. Nobody wants to talk about how bad that their servers are. Those servers are really bad. But the fact that it's a great baseball game, nobody talks about it. So, um,
Well, to tell you the truth, in that community, they do talk about the fact that
hold
there's no online franchise mode, and it's directly having. If, in my opinion, and you and I remember you tried to start up a league and it went to shit because of the servers. And I believe it's that they haven't figured out their server situation yet.
no, I
They
agree
didn't
with
have it this year, so
I agree with
yeah.
you. I agree with you, DJ. In the actual circle of MLB The Show players, like if you go on Reddit, or if you actually search for their community that strictly is about baseball, not like our community that talks about all sports. But if you go to that one little community, they've been hammering Santa Monica or San Diego, I mean, for them to get those servers right for years. So yeah, Pete also says that NHL needs a CFM too. I do agree. I don't have a necessarily big problem with it. I like it for what it is, but I do agree that it could be a little bit more fleshed out. Uh,
Yeah,
anything
that
else
is
you go
true.
to add?
Because
Oh, go ahead.
no, that I don't think I had really anything else. Because now we're moving on to free agency. Because right now I'm like, I I don't think we really need to go into detail about all the moves that have taken place. Right now, everybody's just waiting for Kawhi Leonard to make his decision,
Right.
and it's funny because I will at this moment I will add it to the fuckery on my timeline because people are literally watching for these caravans of like jeeps and apparently Kawhi has a convoy that he was with today as they meet in Toronto. And you had people lining up outside the hotel room or the hotel where him and Ujiri and I think the GM and another person is supposed to be meeting today. So apparently he's going to talk with them, not necessarily make a decision because it's funny that I do like the way he's approaching his free agency. He's giving teams that he is considering a chance to talk. He's talking with them. The one bad thing was that there was a whole telephone conversation leaked between him and Magic Johnson that kind of got online, and yeah, so I don't know
Oh,
if that
really?
did any damage to the Lakers. Yeah, yeah. I was reading it. I don't know if see. I was trying to check to see if it was legit, but the person was issuing out quotes. Uh, I was gonna read a little further, and they was talking about because Magic brought up the point of backstabbing in the conversation that he had with
Oh, wow.
Kawhi. So yeah. So if anybody in the chat, if you guys seen that same series of tweets too, let me know if it was more to that or if it was just smoke because I tend to believe stuff like that could be smoke, but it was just funny to see that pop up.
Yeah, that is kind of crazy. Chris Thomas, what's going on? Thanks for coming through on a Wednesday, man. I mean, like I said, you know, July 4th is Thursday, and that's a holiday, so we're not going to be here, talking your heads off when you want to be with your people. So we're
Right.
here. You're paranoid. I haven't seen him in the chat before. He's one of my our Twitter followers. What's going on with you? He's talking
Hey,
about
what's
Kawhi to
up?
the Warriors with the little funny emoji. Yeah, right. But anyway, I think with the free agency, I think a lot of moves have been made. It seems like they're balancing out the league. The West is still dominant, though. If you look at what they really have over there, they're trying the best to balance out the league with Kyrie. You have a KD possibly having with the
Mm-hmm.
Sixers doing what they're doing. Jimmy Butler's with the Heat. It would be nice for
Oh,
Kawhi to
that's
stay
gonna
in.
be funny.
Yeah, it is. It would be nice for Kawhi to stay in Toronto to keep that balance a little better. A lot of people want him to go to the Lakers. Man, look, I don't have a problem with these super teams or whatever. I just know if that's the case, I know what to watch and what not to watch. I don't hate on none of that stuff. I just want a more of a competitive balance. It's always good to have a competitive balance, or if the East is balanced out just as well as the West, even though, like I said, the West is a little bit better than the East, if Kawhi stays over here on the East, it will be a more of a compelling season. If Kawhi goes to the Lakers, you just wait till June and then we'll see the Lakers in the finals. It's I learned that for the past few years, it's a different era of the league. I mean, a lot of people want to play with each other. A lot of people are friends. Um, there's not too many teams with that competitive, fire against each other. I think the last time we seen something like that was when the '08 Celtics was going up against the Lakers, or you had the Celtics going up against the Cavs with LeBron. Or I mean, even then, that wasn't really like one of those fierce competitive situations. Uh, it's not as balanced out as I would like it to be, but it is what it is. So I mean, what can you do? I don't have
Well,
much. I don't have much else to say about free agency, but I just do hope, just for the sake of watching a full season, would be much better if Kawhi stayed with Toronto, because the entire East and West will be a little bit more balanced out.
now the one thing that keeps popping up and it's with my Wizards is that every it seems like every few tweets I keep hearing the Heat and the Wizards in trade talks for Bradley Beal to pair him up with Butler. And the funny thing about that is that also apparently allegedly that's been included in that conversation is, are the Heat willing to take on John Wall's contract too? Now, mind you, John Wall is probably going to be out for this season, just like Kevin Durant sitting out or has to stay out for one season because he's recovering from his injury with the Brooklyn Nets. So far, it's been smoke. I know one person has been all over it. She's actually upset to the point. Now she's playfully upset, but it's just like it's fuckery to her. I believe it's fuckery as well. That every time this pops up, because we've been the Wizards fans and outlets have always been talking about, let's trade Beal, let's trade Wall, let's trade Beal, like going back and forth. And it's just like, okay, well, are you going to go on a complete rebuild, or you're just going to keep the two and build and continue to build around them? And I'm for keeping them too, because those are the two you gave the max contracts to, and you need to build around them, and you need to build seriously around them. And with this interim GM Shepard, he's actually been doing a great job. He's actually gotten back a couple of second round draft picks that some guy named Grunfeld gave away, and the moves that weren't made last year, where we could have traded a couple of guys that left, because we lost Jeff Green, we lost Trevor Ariza. Trevor Ariza is pretty much on his last contract anyway.
Right.
I don't think it was worth keeping him. But Jeff Green, to lose Jeff Green, that hurt.
Yeah.
That really hurt. So the current interim GM Shepard, he's doing a fine job. Hats off. I would think it would be good enough. The way Leonsis is working this is that he will eventually become the full-time GM, but who knows?
Yeah. Okay. I mean, if he keeps up doing a good job like you said he's doing, I mean, I think it'll be fine. Yeah. I mean, not I'm saying I think it'll be fine. I think that he will get the job. Um. So I
Yeah,
think.
well, your team got one of our players and signed him to a multi-year, what is it, $30 million total? You guys got Tomas Santaransky, basically in a sign-in trade.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, that's all I'm about to get into, since once you was talking about your Wizards, I don't have any problems with what the Bulls are doing. I like who the guys that they drafted. I do like the players that they picked up, like you said, sign and trade. I think they end up picking up Thaddeus Young and a couple other people.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah, they got a lot of young talent, and with a guy like Thaddeus Young, is perfect for guys like Laurie Markkinen and also for Wendell Carter, because he can be a mentor to them, and as well he can still put up pretty decent numbers. So I don't expect the Bulls to do anything outrageous. Maybe they'll get to the 30, maybe 40 win mark, but I don't see anything outside of them still just trying to rebuild. I mean, they're a very young team with a couple of veterans, so long as they're not making like crazy boneheaded moves, signing players to bad contracts. Like, hindsight, when I look at it now, I truly believe, I know a lot of people wanted this. I truly believe if they brought Derrick Rose back, that would have been a bad move, and possibly would have been it wouldn't have been a good fit, because I like I like Derrick Rose, but I kind of like this movement that the Bulls are doing. Hopefully the talent will, come to fruition to where they can actually have a good nucleus of players, because the talent's there, but how well they're going to end up being, like you already got Zach LaVine is averaging a little over 22 a game. Then you need another big man who can do at least 15 and 11. Then you got a scoring point guard that we just drafted. If he can put up another 20, in this day and age, you need at least three guys that could put up at least 20 points. I mean, unless if you're, the Toronto Raptors, but that team was built a little different. But you're gonna need at least three guys that could put up at least 20 at the minimum. So we're looking at these guys now and see if they can develop to those type of players. Like I said, Zach LaVine is already there. I think he's just going to continue to get better, barring injury. And everybody else is just too young to actually, figure them out yet. I want to see a few games. So, as far as our teams, it looks like everything's on the up and up. It looks like for both of us, we're gonna have to wait a few years to all of these
Yep,
superstars.
pretty
Yeah,
much.
yeah. Look at these other superstars, start to fade out. You have your LeBrons fading, and you're gonna have the KD. He may not even be the same. I'm not worried about Kyrie or Jimmy Butler. Um, you're always gonna have Kawhi there for a little while longer. I don't trust AD, especially once LeBron, decides to hang it up. I don't trust AD by himself. You see what happened with him and the Pelicans. And speaking of the Pelicans, that's another team that's young. You would like to see what they may do in the West in the next 3 or 4 years. So, um, you got the Pelicans, you got the Hawks, you got the Bulls, you got the Wizards. You still have the Phoenix Suns, you have Utah. You have a lot of young players that are in these league. I mean, that's in the league right now. They're just waiting to get their time. So, once these super teams. And another thing about this, I think we're going to start to see this, you know, this downward, slope of players not trying to create super teams because it all started with the GM in Boston when they got those guys together. And LeBron with the Miami, then Kevin Durant did what he did, and then I don't think these young players are necessarily built like that. You don't see these young players like a lot of these guys are actually trying to start something up with the teams they're with. I know there was a tweet out there about RJ Barrett and Zion trying to get together in New York. I honestly I don't see that happening. Maybe I'm wrong, but it looks like these guys really want to do their own thing. And so far, with the way these young guys are spread out, hopefully it'll stay that way. But anything else you want to add to free agency before we get to the craziness of these rookie ratings?
Oh no, we can just get right into these rookie ratings because people just continue to cry and complain, bitch and complain about anything and everything.
All right, so
So we can go right into it.
I'm gonna let you go ahead and take off and let everybody know what's going on with these ratings and what's your thoughts in the beginning about it.
All right, so the rookie ratings are coming out, or not all. I don't think all the positions are out yet, but they've at least gotten quarterback, running back, wide receivers. I don't think they did any defense as of late. But once again, just like last year, just like the year before, just like the year before that, and the umpteenth years before that, people are crying about not. I see it coming from mostly the players, but they're jokingly doing it. But it's these folks in the community, whether it's the sim community, the Madden community, or whatever. Well, I swear to God, they get so mad if a rating doesn't fit with the rating that they think a person should have. And a lot of times it's just like, look, if you're that mad over ratings, if you're mad over two people's opinions of player X's speed or player X's overall, and especially this year, understanding that they're spreading out the ratings, rookies aren't going to be rated as high as they were last year and the year before. It was getting ridiculous with the rookie ratings, and understanding that the throw powers. Yes, it is subjective. It's definitely not an exact science. So the fact that people complain over something that is subjective is ridiculous. I can only imagine once they get the game, they're going to continue to complain and bitch bitch and complain and do all those things that Madden players tend to do, whether you're in the sim community or if you're in the so-called Madden community, tournament community. I'm fine with the ratings the way they are. I want that separation of your top tier, whether it's in your rookie class. I want those top tier rookies to be separated from the rest of the rookies in the draft. I want to see the current players, the way their their ratings are spread. I want to see that separation from your top players to they're almost there type players to your normal players, and then you're like the depth type players. I definitely want to see that separation. So with these ratings, now first of all, they said don't look at the overall too much. It's always been about the individual ratings that should help how you use a player. But people want to use players the way they want to use them, man. If their overall doesn't match whatever, or if their skill set doesn't match whatever, they're like, I can't believe the Madden developers, they need to go out there and they need to fix this. They'll be screaming patch all day for this. So, and I see that I know I'm probably in a delay looking at it on screen, but I see you're looking at the rookie ratings from last year, which you can see is 81.
Yeah, this is the actual one for Madden 20, but I want to show the contrast from what they have then and what they have now.
Mm-hmm.
Pete F said that his speed should be 92, not 91. Typical Twitter. Yeah, I mean,
right.
Listen. Let me tell you, I've never been a fan of like overalls or ratings. My thing is, I don't understand what this stuff actually means, and I'm not saying it because I'm illiterate or I'm dumb or whatever. DJ thinks I'm illiterate. He thinks I can't read. But
I knew you was going to get into that. Oh.
But I don't understand. Like you see right here, Baker Mayfield's 81 overall. What the hell does that mean? Baker Mayfield may have a throwing power of a 91. What does that mean? Kyler Murray, like we're looking at this right here, the top 5 rookie quarterbacks. Kyler Murray is a 73 overall. What does that mean? I don't understand it, but people getting a big pissing match over stuff like this and they don't even know what they're getting mad about. I mean, my thing is, if I put Kyler Murray on the field, will he play like what I see on Sundays? If he has that same throwing power that I notice when he plays in real life, if he runs I know the animations might not be the same, but if he has the tendency to run like when he needs to, run, if he has that tendency, I'm good with it. If he has a problem with his vision, I know this might be a little advanced. If he has a problem with his vision throwing the ball because he's looking at guys who are almost twice his size to throw over linemen, if that was a trait that he'd be inaccurate, I'm okay with that. I don't understand throwing accuracy be at 89, which I don't think it should be, when he's already 5'6" trying to throw the ball over 6'6" people. I mean,
man a midget.
But I'm just trying to throw some logic in these numbers. I mean, these numbers to me don't mean anything. I just want these guys. I want these guys to play like they're replicated, persons. And like, I would love to have letter grades because I can identify more with somebody has an A+ throwing power other than a 91 throwing power, because it's always like Pete said, it's subjective. It's what you think that person is, or it's based on what that person may do on the field. Not necessarily just because he's an 89, he better be faster than everybody. It makes no sense. So, I mean, you also have Dwayne Haskins at a 72 overall, which personally, I think he should be higher. If we really want to talk about ratings, I think he should be higher than Kyler Murray because he has the body type of a quarterback. That alone should make him higher than Kyler Murray. But the stuff I'm talking about, I think it makes it so simple that it shouldn't have an argument behind it. Daniel Jones, 63 overall. Yes, he has the body of a quarterback, just like Dwayne Haskins, but he played against lower competition. So he should not have a higher rating than these other guys who've played against higher competition. Maybe he'll improve once he gets in the NFL and actually play in the NFL. But even though he has a 63 overall, I still cannot relate a 63 overall compared to Kyler Murray, which is a 73 overall. And like I said, I have a feeling that I believe that even though that Kyler Murray is more athletic than Daniel Jones, I feel that Daniel Jones should be higher than Kyler Murray because he has the body of a quarterback. That's like
Mm,
saying that's just saying like, oh, you know, a lineman should be lower than a smaller, a lineman should be no, I'm sorry, a smaller fullback should be rated higher than a lineman when you put that fullback on the line because he's more athletic. No, the fact that this guy is 6 foot 6, 315, he should automatically be better than a fullback that's 6'1", 240 trying to play that same position. Does that make sense?
no.
Okay, whatever. So it's like, I mean, I think it makes sense. I mean, I would never try to put a 6'1", 245 fullback at right guard compared to a 6'3", 315 guy at right guard. I mean, he's not, that fullback's not going to block a goddamn thing on that line. So it's, to me, Kyler Murray has an arm, but I'm not saying that he's not a quarterback, but I think these other guys are better prototypical quarterbacks. So therefore, at the minimum, they should be at the same level as far as overalls. Anything outside of that, if the throwing power is different, if the QB vision is different, then you can change the overall based off of that. But I mean, just to say that Daniel Jones is automatically lower than him, I need to see everything else behind that. Let's see the other two. Drew Lock 67. They have him better than Daniel Jones. I understand that. Will Greer 66. I'm gonna be honest with you. I got a feeling that this kid right here might be the best quarterback out of all five of these guys. But
Mhm.
I may be wrong. But I just think he just looks like him and Drew Lock probably like the best two prototypical quarterbacks, but I think Will Greer is going to surprise a lot of people. So,
You don't think Drew Haskins is a prototypical quarterback? They got him listed as a pocket passer.
you mean Drew Lock or Dwayne Haskins?
Dwayne Haskins. Did I say
No, no,
Drew
no, no, no,
Haskins?
no, no. Yeah, you did, but I
Yeah.
think Dwayne. No, no, I'm with you 100%. I think he is a prototypical quarterback. That's why I think he should be higher than. Matter of fact, between him and Will Greer, they should be rated the highest out of all five of these guys, honestly. But I just got a feeling that Will Greer is going to shock a lot of people out of all five of these. I think Dwayne Haskins is going to have a very successful career. I think he's going to have a successful first season. I'm not necessarily sold on Kyler Murray. I never was, even before he was even when he was drafted number one overall. I was like, what were they thinking? I mean, me and Bills was talking about this as well. Um, Wild Star
Nah,
said, hold on, before we go further.
yeah, because Wildstar just said Haskins the next EJ Manuel.
Yeah, I
Nope.
disagree.
I don't. I don't. I disagree with
Yeah,
that
I don't buy
wholeheartedly.
that either. Pete said they made Lamar Jackson's accuracy nearly identical to Darnold. See, that's another thing. Like, I'm not saying that he's not as accurate, but I don't see it. Maybe they something changed during the offseason, but I don't see it.
But
Also
there may be something else that may affect his accuracy than just the rating itself.
throwing on
Because
the
remember,
run, throwing on the
yeah,
run. Yeah, yeah.
there may be certain things that he's more accurate in, like throwing on the run versus Donald. If you got him throwing on the run, he
He might
probably
he'll
yeah.
throw an interception and throw the ball on the ground. So yeah, I mean, I can understand that. I do. I
So
get it.
there's going to be factors that are going to affect, even if they're that close as far as throwing accuracy. I'm sure there's a baseline, but then you have seen both players play, and the passes that Jackson has been throwing, yeah, it's been scary at times.
Yeah, I
But
think it kind of coincides with what you just said. What Pete F said.
but
He
but
said, "Does
but
the
at the
rating?"
end of the day, it's an overall. It's not just his pro accuracy; it's also his college accuracy that figures into it. So
Yeah, yeah. I mean, his accuracy may be up with Darnold's because he can throw on the run. So I mean, like I said, he may not be able to throw as accurate standing in the pocket. I mean, you just don't know. It'll be interesting because they did say they kind of changed everything. So with the rating, so it'll be interesting to see because a lot of people are up in arms about them having the ratings at a they're lower than usual. So a lot of people are actually kind of going haywire behind that.
But you know
Um,
what? As far as the players are concerned, they sat there. They sat there and told them ahead of time that they were doing that.
right,
So players that are complaining that if their overall was lower than last year, if you were told this and if you remember you were being told this, you're being told again. That's what's happening. I'm like, this is one of the things that I know that there's a tendency that Madden should be the one to say, well, this is how it's gonna be, and that's it. And I look at it like this: as far as the ratings is concerned, let them be. Let the ratings stay where they are, because what's going to happen throughout the season, you're going to have to prove that your ratings are better instead of being given an increase because you're complaining about it. Prove it. I'm like, the one dude, he won the 40 yards of goal. So when he complained about his ratings afterwards, yeah, I was all for that increase. That man just won. Out of most of the NFL players that participated, won the whole thing. Give him his increase. He earned it. I want to
right,
see the
right,
players earn it throughout the season instead of complaining about it when they first see it.
right, right. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna be right back. I gotta check on something real quick.
Okay, well, meanwhile, I'm just shout out to the chat. Hey, Pooh, if you want to be more of a mod type producer, I'm gonna need you to bring some more people in here because because I know since we're streaming today on a Wednesday, it's different than our normal Thursday time. But we gotta get these numbers up. So I'm gonna need you to do some work. I'm gonna do some work too. So that's gonna be one of those things we're gonna be working on. Oh yeah, and just as I say that, we get one more person in here. There goes my luck. So so what's going on? We're not gonna move to the next topic
Oh
until
no,
I
no,
guess
yeah, I'm back.
AF is back.
Yeah, I'm back.
Okay.
I had to go downstairs and get something real quick.
Oh,
But
okay.
I mean, with that being said, at the end of the day, you the Madden ratings, I don't have a 100% problem with them. I don't understand them. I never understood numbers as a rating. And personally, if I had a pick
Don't
and
tell me you
choose,
have failed math too.
no, it's just that I don't understand what's an 80 throwing power. I just don't know. It's just something I can't understand. But I think if I could pick any game that actually did it right as far as numbers, I think the NCAA games, you can tell the difference between the numbers. If somebody was, 70 blocking versus 80 blocking, you could tell the difference. I think Madden's always struggled with trying to differentiate that stuff. But nevertheless, we'll see how the game comes out. What happens when you
Mm-hmm.
actually play the game? I know I'm gonna play it, so I want to let everybody know. Want to know everybody know what my thoughts are, and we in First and Frame Race are going to try to get those thoughts as well to you. DJ's going to
Mm-hmm.
have his, Bill's going to have his, and we're just going
Try
to
to get
go.
my free Madden.
Yeah, I know, right?
I
You
had
know,
to debo somebody in the community to get one.
right. So I'm gonna let you go ahead once again, man. Take the wheel with this WWE thing, or if there's anything else you want to talk about prior to that, or anything that's on your mind that you want to add a little before we get into the next topic. Because before we get into it, I just thought about it. Before we get into it, I just want to promote our affiliate again, but it's totally up to you.
Oh, commercial break.
All right, anybody who's sitting here listening to us live, or if they're catching us on after we go live, if you have any inspirations to start your channel, or you have a channel already and you just hit the upload button and you don't have an intro, intro champ is a great place to go to get an intro. It's very easy, drag and drop your information in the areas of where you want your logo, or your links, or your channel, or your any of that stuff is very easy. So intro champ is a very good place to start, to actually have your intros. A lot of people don't know this, but if you are starting out, you will get better engagement with a proper intro to your channels. In some cases, I know on my virtual footballer channel, when I before I did intros and after, I got almost a 50 to 75% increase on people who actually sit around and watch my videos because the intros are actually more compelling than the actual content, believe it or not. It made people stay around to see what I had to say. So using Intro Champ, like I said, they have great intros. Either if you're doing sports gaming, if you're doing RPGs, first person shooters, even if you're not even doing stuff in gaming, but they really do specialize in gaming content in their intros. So the affiliate link is down below in the description. Is introchamp.com/question mark the letter R =25. Once again, that's introchamp.com question mark the letter R in =25. And once you go to that link, you'll get a discount on plenty of the intros that they have. Any ones that actually tickle your fancy or what you want to use for your channel. Not even just for regular content that you want to upload. You can actually use these for live streams as well. So definitely, I highly recommend it, and it makes me want to go back and start making some videos as well. Because when I had the old channel, I used these guys a lot, and it actually made between this and my other the other channel when I was on full screen, it actually was actually a joy to make the videos because I felt like I had a little extra added dynamic to my content. So once again, I'm gonna hit that intro. I'm gonna hit that link one more time. It's introchamp.com/question mark the letter R =25. You go there, you get a discount on all the intros that's available. So with that being said, what's on your mind, DJ? You want to go straight into WWE, or you want got other things you want
Yeah,
to
we can
address?
go to WWE. I'm like during that commercial break, I was thinking had a jingle that was playing in my head while you were going through your commercial. So it
Hey,
was just
yeah, I'm gonna tell you. Hey, we literally just got this affiliate maybe like 3 hours before we started. I mean, they contacted me and wanted to know if I was interested. So I don't have all the bells and whistles up yet. All the information that they gave me to actually promote it. But so that's why I bare bones right now. But trust and believe, we will definitely be pushing this a little bit harder, and hopefully we'll
mhm.
have other ads as well. So definitely check it out, and if you see what they have in store, if it works for you, I think I think it will work out for you.
And guess what? You guys don't have to join a Patreon to get that option.
No, not at all. No, no, no. Everything is totally up to you. I stand by the products. Like I said, I use it. I wish there. See, times like this, I wish I would have my old channel up because I can actually show the type of intros that they actually had and how it worked for my channel. Because the intros
Mm.
are actually they're very very well done. They look really good. They're very unique. None of them are. You won't find too many. The same type of intros. They're very unique, and you can add your own spin on it. So it's really good. So I highly
Yeah,
recommend.
and now we're seeing that people are taking their bathroom break, so we need to go
I
ahead
know, like some people jumping
to
out like,
this next.
maybe they're jumping off to that link, man. You never know. So
Man, they ain't jumping off there. Like, they know us how long that commercial break was. It was like
nah,
anyway. All right, so this week in WWE. Now, I don't know about anybody else in the chat. If I don't know if you guys watch wrestling, watch the WWE product or AEW or all the other, but in WWE in particular, there was a noticeable change in what we saw on TV. It seemed like there's an uptick of maybe some grown folks action going on. Apparently, the way Raw kicked off this past Monday left people. I'm like, I looked at Twitter. I was on Twitter. Everybody was on Twitter for the first. What I think it was like the first. They say the first 30 minutes of Raw, but pretty much we just seen two people almost kill each other in the first hour, first half hour of the show. Now, I
oh
know. I
wow,
think it was last episode we talked about the fact that Paul Heyman and Eric Bischoff are taking over creative for Raw and SmackDown, respectively.
yeah, I remember
So
y'all talking about that.
yeah, we had the first match that opened ended up with let's see, it was two wrestlers, Braun Strowman and God, I can never I can never remember this dude. Uh, they were fighting, and all of a sudden they get to the stage area, and Braun gets up and runs through. It was Bobby Lashley. I now remember his name. It was Bobby Lashley, who was standing at the one of the electronic boards. Basically, Braun Strowman speared him through the boards and set off what was supposed to be like people were getting electrocuted, but explosions everywhere. They were saying that the backstage area was exploding with fireworks. It was the pyrotechnics that were going off. They were acting like they were getting electrocuted, and all hell broke loose. There's a hole in the electronics thing, and Corey Graves on cue was like, "Holy shit!" without it being bleeped out. So,
Oh, wow.
It wasn't just the action. On top of that, the fact that for those that heard Corey Graves say, "Oh shit," it was like, what? They let that go? What's going on? Is this Paul Heyman already getting things going? And the way the rest of Raw played out was like, okay, it died down, but you could see it was definitely different from here on. So it seemed like Paul Heyman did a little bit here, and it's probably going to grow on Raw as we continue on. And then we're going to move to and another thing let's move on to SmackDown, because SmackDown, I wouldn't say it wasn't as live as Raw. So that was kind of a complete reversal, because SmackDown before this week was usually kicking Raw's ass. So SmackDown this week, a bit tame, but the one thing that I didn't expect to happen was the middle finger to all of a sudden be, the middle finger kind of was the way the cameraman moved at the last second. It's supposed to be PG, but I think they rose it up to PG-13. And I think in preparation for their new networks they're going to be in the fall. I think one's going to be on Fox and the other one's going to be on another channel or something like that. But but Kofi Kingston, I think it may be TV-14.
Yeah, TV.
But
that's a TV equivalent to PG-13. Because PG-13 is for movies.
Right. So apparently Kofi Kingston threw to Samoa Joe the middle finger, and even though the cameraman was kind of late in getting behind, I don't know if the cameraman was told to try to hide the middle finger, but part of it was seen in that live shot, and it was a straight up middle finger. And I know in the past that if somebody threw the middle finger, it was either blurred out or something of that nature. But the fact that you got Kofi Kingston delivering the middle finger, now you're talking about the guy that's kind of been G-rated all the way up until this time. I know there were certain gestures he was pointing out, like he points his finger out like he's holding a gun to people's head, and ain't nobody catch that. But that's something different. But to throw up the middle finger on a live show and not have it blurred, but kind of like camera tricked out,
right?
It's a step in a grown folks direction. And then Kevin Owens doing a promo involving Dolph Ziggler. I think it was I would say I saw that Shane and I forgot the other person that was out there. Kevin Owens is cursing a storm.
Okay.
During the match or whatnot, and even the promo itself before that match, Kevin Owens seemed like he was just going off the rip. And it seemed like Dolph Ziggler was going scripted, but then Kevin Owens was going off the rip, and it just, I can see a little bit of Eric Bischoff in that. Mm-hmm. So, and I think that was mainly it. There was nothing that was too crazy, but Raw had the biggest jump in quality and overall the oh shit factor. No pun intended.
So basically, this is what happens when you have competition.
Yep. That is basically what it is. AEW is a threat, and it's showcasing. And AEW had a pay-per-view, I think, last week, and it wasn't as major, and it wasn't touted as a major pay-per-view. So I don't think they were really worried about one, attendance, or two, viewers. But I'm like, you're gonna be worried about viewers, but at the same time, you're worried about the quality that you're about to put out, and plus, it was streamed for free on Bleacher Report.
Oh wow.
So the fact that you got that going out the gate, Bleacher Report is like, we have faith in you. Heck, we'll stream it. I know Chris Jericho had a problem with it, and I think that's why I don't think he appeared in this show because it was being streamed for free. So it's just like, okay, where are we getting the revenue from? But other than that, yeah, that's direct benefit for having competition, direct competition, not indirect like it was Impact Wrestling, but having direct competition. And you can talk about this as far as with video gaming, sports, whatever. Competition does make everyone better and make everybody want to step their game up.
I mean, like you said, that's not even just in the video game world. That's in anything that you're competing against somebody. I mean, it makes you want to do things different. I mean, when we realized that we were competition to other podcasts, we took your head on and wanted to be better. I mean, that's just the nature. I mean, both of you and I, we both played sports, so we definitely know what it's like. We don't want anybody to, when we know somebody across the way think they're better than us, we're going to try to do our best to take on that head on. I just, I just wish that other companies and other things would actually understand that. It's gotten to the point where I just roll with the punches with these video games. I think Madden in particular, and it's not necessarily their fault. It's more of the NFL. It's just that I wish they would understand that it would be good if somebody would compete against you. I mean, it's just it's always in good fun at the end of the day, but that kind of pulls the life out of it as far as fun, and then people would just have like this bitterness towards EA because of Madden is not up to par to what they would like it to be, or it's not up to par at all. But they don't have an alternative, so it gives them a reason to be upset. With that being said, I like this. Direction that WWE is going. I see a lot of people that I've noticed actually are, they like the direction as well, and I hope it continues that way because, ever since WCW went away with Monday Night Nitro, wrestling really haven't been the same as far as them trying to compete with each other, and hopefully this brings that back. And from what it sounds like it's doing that, and that's a good thing. Anything else you want to add to it, or anything else you want to?
I have nothing else to add to WWE for this week, and I thought I enjoyed what I saw. Now, to move away from kind of keeping it in sports, but kind of move away from it's a little bit serious, but I'm gonna keep it light. Other fuckery that was on my timeline, definitely Colin Kaepernick has made it back into the news.
Yeah.
Now the thing is, there's fuckery on both sides here. I'm gonna pull a Trump on this one. It's definitely fuckery on both sides because even though I fully understand Colin's issue with the Betsy Ross flag version of the American flag on the back of some Nikes that Nike was about to put out, but eventually Nike decided to pull off the shelves, and that raised anger mostly from people that I would say they really wanted that shoe for whatever reason, whether they were racist or not, it didn't matter. So that shoe is not going to be sold. Now, I understand where Colin's coming from. The exact flag itself with the 13 stars in a circle is the American flag before we got the rest of the states involved. This was like the 13 colonies, and it kind of leads into, like I said, tomorrow, July 4th, Independence Day.
Right.
So the flag, again, means something different to each individual in this country. Not everybody views the flag as the same way. So I need those folks that are angry at Colin Kaepernick to fuck off, because you just fail to acknowledge his and people like ourselves view of the country as a whole through that flag. It's not disrespecting the flag. It's just expressing ourselves through our constitutional rights. I think by censoring somebody's constitutional rights, it's disrespecting the flag and the country itself. But I had to turn my eyes to Colin Kaepernick. I had to turn my eyes to him because, my brother, if you're upset about what's on the back of those shoes, I'm going to need you to take a look at the Philadelphia 76ers alternate jerseys.
That's a good point.
They're in red, white, and blue, and they have 13 stars around the number. I didn't see no complaints coming from you talking about that jersey. So we're gonna have to call it even when it comes to outrage, and that's
I never thought about that. That is a good point.
Yeah, I had to think about that. I was in the shower thinking about this. I was just like, hold up, I understand, Colin, but dude, the 76ers got that same jersey, been rocking with it the whole entire year. You didn't say shit.
I think the problem is, and I understand people have a right to be, offended by stuff or whatever, but I think it comes a time you really need to. And it's hard because emotion is very hard to contain. Because I mean, let's say for instance that he was offended by it. He probably was offended as soon as he saw it, and then he felt like he had something to say. But when you do stuff like that, you're not really looking at the big picture. You're not understanding about,
Mm-hmm.
the 76ers, or you're not thinking about, Congress itself. I mean, I've been to Congress. I've been, in the House of Representatives. I've been to Capitol Hill. They have those flags in their halls. I mean, there's other places that don the 13 colonies flag. I mean, that's what I call it, because each star
Mm-hmm.
represents 13 states that was first ratified. And
Right.
there's other places in that show that don this flag, and some people find it, you know, a very historical piece of history. I don't think it
Mm-hmm.
necessarily. Me personally, I don't find it offensive because I mean, at the end of the day, you know, we only started out with, well, I ain't gonna say we, but America only started out with 13 states, and that's what each star on the flag necessarily did. That's what they represent. That's why we have 50 stars on the flag now, because we have 50 states. So it's like,
Mm-hmm.
I don't think those 13 states meant anything wrong or anything offensive about the other side of what was going on in the country, as far as slavery and, and the other things that was done back then. I don't think that flag had anything to do with it. I wasn't there. I don't know what happened back in the 1700s, but maybe I may need to do some more research behind that. But I never heard of a story or a situation where that flag or any other American flag for that instance necessarily meant, the oppression of, African Americans or people who came from Africa. I never thought the flag did. Now I know there were certain things that were put in place under,
Mm-hmm.
the country's policy, more so with the Confederate flag or just the Confederacy in general, what they wanted to do as far as slavery and how they did with us, back then. But I don't think the flag itself, not that flag anyway. I mean, if it's the Confederate flag, then we have a different issue. But for that flag, I
Yeah.
don't think it had anything to do with it. But I think, and I think we talked about this in the DM. Is like, to
Mm-hmm.
me, I don't have a problem discussing stuff like this. Yeah, I mean, even on this podcast, even though this podcast, and it's talk about sports and sports gaming, I feel that stuff like this, it gets tiring after a while when you have an instance like this. Like you said, you hear about Colin Kaepernick being offended, but his due diligence would have known that you have people within the sport donning this type of symbol. You have other public facilities donning this symbol. We shouldn't wait until it's on a shoe to say something. If you're really offended about it, it's not hard to find, places that don this flag. Even though I may not offend it, maybe you're not, or other people are not, but if you truly are, we shouldn't. And I'm not telling people when or how to be offended, but it comes off as disingenuous when you wait for it to be on a shoe around this time of the year to say something about it. Because to me, that there's plenty other places to find that flag where you can point out and say, "Hey, look, yes, it's March 14th, 2008 or whatever. Okay, but why y'all still have this flag up? You know what I'm saying? Or 2012, way back then when it was. I mean, like I said, nobody's hiding this flag. It's been around for a long time, so it just comes off as okay. What else is somebody else is offended by because the timing of it, and you waited for it to be on a shoe, and it causes attention to where a lot of people be at each other's throats about something that's really it's hard to defend, even if no matter what race you are or what type of person you are, how you feel about it. It's hard to defend it when you have somebody offended. It's like you don't want to come off as insensitive to their feelings. So that's one of the reasons why the shoe was discontinued because you don't want to come off as insensitive to a group of people when if like I said, if those people did their due diligence, this is an issue that if they really cared about it, it could have been brought up a long time ago. But nevertheless, that's my whole take on it. I just don't want everybody to be offended by something every time comes up, and before you know it, everything about our history in this country is erased because nobody wants to talk about it. Nobody don't want to teach their children about where we come from. Nobody don't want to teach people who come into this country understand what it was built on, even if it was built off false pretenses or not. People have the right to know about that stuff. They need to know about what happened to us back in the 1700s. They need to know about the Emmett Tills of the world. They need to know about the people who've been oppressed throughout the civil rights movement. And on the flip side of that, they need to know about some of the great inventors of African American inventors who invented, cotton gin and the light bulb and all this other stuff and all these other things that are really important. I mean, you just can't keep the good and just because you're offended with the bad, you want to erase it because nobody would know our history, good, bad, or indifferent. So I mean, that's my take to it at the end. I think it's something that's I hope it get toned down a bit, but I'm not sure if it will. Anything
I
else
just I just look at yeah, I was about to say, I just look at it like this. That American flag means everything.
yeah,
Everything that happened.
yeah,
It's not one or the other, and that's the point that I'm trying to make.
yeah,
And
it means
that
everything to
it
everybody,
and you said it to you pretty much said it too. It's just like it's everything. Everything that happened from the formation of this country, even how it was set up, how it people were stolen from another country to be brought here to work on the land, how another nation was reduced to, you know, a minuscule population. I'm like, even the wars that were fought, it's everything. It represents everything that's happened in this country, good, bad, fair, foul.
right? Yeah, I agree. I
They
totally
both
agree.
exist.
Yeah,
Just acknowledge. It's like if you acknowledge the whole, then everybody. This would be a perfect world if everyone just acknowledged everything that encompassed this country, then things would be people would have a better outlook on things. They wouldn't be so outraged when stuff like this pops up. But hey, that's
right.
just my view.
I agree. I mean, and at the end of the day, I think that we all can learn from this, and we can continue to learn from stuff like this. So I'm here for it, even when it's warranted. Like I said, I don't want this to be a cornerstone of the podcast because we kind of try to keep it the way we structured it. But there's sometimes like this instance where it will pop its head. Even when I told DJ, in the beginning when he brought it up prior to the show. I told him I really didn't want to touch on it because I felt like I don't want to address people who are outraged all the time. But look at it now. I think this turned into a pretty good discussion between you and I.
Yeah.
You
Well,
know.
unlike VF, I knew it was going to be a good discussion
Oh
because
hush.
because here's the thing. It was two against one.
As usual,
Uh,
right?
right. And me, I'm not afraid to go at it alone. That's part of my personality. I'm not afraid to, follow my. I put it out there on Twitter because I was referencing people that were getting pissed off about something else that I was talking about because I called some people some hoes or whatever, and I was just I was just like, look, oh no, because somebody suggested I listen to a 21 video, and I was just like, I don't listen to that dude. I follow my own path, and then someone tried to use it against me. Like that was gonna work.
Hey,
They're
man,
like, well,
listen.
we should follow our own path. Then we shouldn't watch your video. I'm like, fine.
All right.
You're
I
doing
mean,
the very thing I want you to do in the first place. You're
right. No,
following your own path.
right. We're not.
Good.
I mean, I feel that at the end of the day, we make the best content out here, even with the people that watch, and we're not as big as everybody else. But I feel that we make the best content. And if you don't want to look at it or listen to it, in the end of the day, it's your loss because we're going to continue to make the best content possible. You know what you're getting at when you get, other people in the community. When you have the Sim Standard make theirs, you know what you're getting when 21 make his. When Hollywood Sports make his or whatever. You know what you're getting into. But I mean, not to toot our horn. I think we have the best, compelling, most well-rounded content. We're
Oh,
not
and
we're not a one path. We're not a one path show.
one thing I like to say, shout out to Hard Eight and Drew Games for patching shit up. I knew that shit was gonna happen.
Yeah, I'm about to say. I knew that was
I
gonna
knew
happen.
that shit was gonna happen. I was
I
just
mean,
like, man, the way Hardy works is that he gets mad, gets upset, people blow up, and then cooler heads tend to prevail, and then
right.
everything's fine until the next blow up. It's just the way. It's the way YouTube, the crumb side of gaming works. People blow up, but eventually they make, well, outside of BG's fraudulent ass. But anyway, that's a different story. Um, but yeah,
you
that's
know,
that's what we do here at First and Frame Rates. I'm like, we are not gonna always agree on topics. Some people have to go rogue, like me. Um, but you guys have gone rogue, well, duo rogue, because there are some topics I'm just sitting there like crickets,
I mean, yeah. I mean,
like
that's how. I mean, and that's how.
sitting in the background.
I mean, that's
But I
how.
give you guys warning though. I was like, I'm probably not gonna talk as much during that part. So
Well, I mean, that's how it should be. Everybody can't be in agreement on everything. I mean, that would suck. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, that would be like the Sim Standard podcast, but
Catch them
we're
on
not
Thursday.
them.
You can catch them on Thursdays. I mean, you might not catch them tomorrow because of the holiday, but you never know. They might be up here, talking about these ratings.
So we might catch them on the street. It's like, I'm just kidding.
Nah. Shout out to Smitty and Sim in Missouri, man. Shout out to them. They good
They're
folks.
good
All right,
sports. Even
one more story for the day. I mean, I just found this while we were talking, and I want to pull this up and wanted your thoughts about this as well, DJ.
oh boy,
Let me get. No, it's nothing crazy, man. It's cool, but
I hope it ain't what I think it is,
nah. Now here it is right here.
because
Here it is right here. Hacker gets 2 years
oh,
in prison for DDoSing game servers. So finally, you got some justice for some bullshit going on around here. And
thank God.
yeah, this guy got 27 months in prison. His name is Austin Thomas. He has been sentenced to 27 months in prison for his role in DDoS attacks against a number of targets in 2013 and 2014.
Oh, that guy. Oh,
Yeah, he's that
damn.
guy. And one of the victims was Sony Online Entertainment, now known as Daybreak Games. Remember the whole situation that happened when 2011, when Anonymous got to the actual servers? Well, this guy didn't
Mm-hmm.
get to he didn't have any part in that. He the one that went after Sony Online Entertainment, which consists of a couple of indie games and some other stuff that Sony Online. It was another branch of the PSN ecosystem. So he got 27 months in prison, and he's been ordered to pay $95,000 in restitution to the company.
Damn.
So he pleaded guilty back in November, and his sentence was announced yesterday on July 2nd. Let's see,
Mm.
his attacks were directly mainly online gaming companies and servers, including San Diego-based SOE, and it does not name any other companies involved. Now I'm curious what other companies that he took on, because obviously Sony name is going to be out there because of what happened to Sony a couple of years prior to this happening. So with that being said, there was going to be in the forefront because they've been hacked before. But I am curious what other companies that they went after, because I think at one point I think this was later on down the road. I know Microsoft got hit with DDoS on Christmas
Yep.
Day one time, and I think Valve got hit before in the middle of the year. That had to be like 2015 to 2016. I don't think he had anything to do with that, but
Shoot.
this stuff like this
Hell,
happens all the time.
yeah. Instagram and Facebook were hit today.
Really? I didn't know. Really?
People couldn't post pictures.
Oh yeah,
People was going crazy over that.
Yeah, I seen that when people were saying that they were they couldn't post pictures. But I didn't know if it had anything to do with that. But I wouldn't be surprised.
It wasn't loading, and somebody said that PETA may have done it. And I was just like, why would PETA want to take down Instagram? That doesn't make any sense.
I wouldn't put it past them, because the way PETA been going hard for the past ever since Michael Vick did his thing, I wouldn't be surprised. Seriously, man. I mean, they said last week a DDoS attack briefly brought down American Final Fantasy 14 servers. Man, people still play Final Fantasy 14? Because 15 is out now, right?
People are really playing. Well, that one in particular, but I'm sure people have been into these historic Final Fantasies that made, especially 7.
Yeah, because I've been playing 7 for a while now, because I know that the remake was coming out, and I never finished 7 the first time, so I had it here, so I was like, let me go back and play it again so I can finally finish it before the remake. I did buy Final Fantasy 15 for PS4. I haven't touched it yet, but I'm still playing The Witcher 3, so there's a lot of games that I need to be touching on, and I don't know, DJ, man. I might have that feeling again, man. I might have to start taking some of the stuff back and just go straight PC again.
All right, Holiday Jr.
Yo, man, I've been thinking about it because, since I built this PC, man, there's like a bunch of untapped potential in this PC. And I'm like, man, I might need to get some more games for it and play on it. But I love my PS4, man. I don't know what I'm gonna do, DJ, man. Don't pay me no mind.
Yeah, because we are talking about a guy that gave away his PS4
and Xbox One.
And it's funny because I called it right from the beginning. It was goading him to finally get back into it, and he got back into it. And I knew it was going to happen. It's just a matter of time.
Yeah, man, it's crazy.
But
I'm glad this guy got caught though, because the DDoS.
Yeah,
cool.
I'm really glad he got caught.
Ain't cool. What you about to say?
One more thing before we go. If I catch anybody in the store licking on anything that I could potentially buy, I'm kicking your ass. And your mom's a hoe.
Yo, they getting kicked straight in the face, yo. I'm like Luke Kane kicking them in the chest. Like, yo, that shit was disgusting. Now, if y'all don't know what's going on,
well, the police are on it, yeah.
Yeah, some girl in Texas just went into a Walmart, and I think it was San Antonio or something like that. She goes into a Walmart. I don't even want to put that shit up on the podcast. I don't even look for.
No, don't.
She goes in, opens up a thing of Bluebell ice cream, licks it, and puts it back and runs off laughing like it's the funniest shit ever. Yo, I swear, if I catch her, I'll pull her fucking tongue out of her mouth. Like, it's so fucking gross. And then she had the nerve. DJ, she had nerve to say that she had the flu a couple of days ago. Prior to her doing that.
Oh, then that's attempted murder. Apparently in Texas, that's a felony.
Yeah, it is.
Contaminate consumer products.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hope they find her. She didn't have a Twitter, but she had an Instagram, and the police are on it.
Well,
they're going to find her eventually.
Here's the thing. There are 2 other people that had posted doing something the exact same thing and another similar. There was another girl, she looks like an Instagram model, so she'll probably get away with it. Did the same exact thing. And then there was this trans dude, cross-dresser. I don't know what the background of this person was. He went and took some mouthwash, gargled it, spit it right back and put it back on the shelf. I was like, these motherfuckers, not everybody, I'm not labeling everybody in this generation, but some of y'all are fucked up. Y'all don't know that there are consequences for the stuff that you guys are doing. Take it from, the previous generation that did phone pranks when there was no call ID. And when we tried to do that mess with call ID, we got caught. Y'all are going to get caught, especially y'all videotaping. Y'all ID is right there. The government keeps track of it has facial recognition. They will catch you. smiling in the camera. You don't know the camera got your face stored. So as soon as you lick that ice cream, you put it back, and you're like, ha 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 ha, you're gonna be in prison.
Did they find this person? They say they identified her, but I mean, I'm pretty
Yeah,
sure they got her by now, right?
I hope they probably should have. They have to have caught her by now. I'm
Yeah,
sure. Like I said, it's a one-time thing. I'm sure it's gonna be like some huge fine. They're not gonna throw the. But I would throw the max. That's attempted murder.
yeah, I agree.
I'm sorry. I would. I don't care who she is. I don't care who they are. They all need to be thrown in
But
prison.
see, and then you have some people. You have some people trying to blame Bluebell because they don't have a seal on it. I don't blame Bluebell. Listen, listen. They already said Bluebell said it creates a seal because it's frozen, and I'm 100% with that. But
Yeah, they
common
flip the
sense,
thing upside down and they freeze it. That's how it creates the seal that way.
but I'm saying common sense will tell you, frozen or not, you're grown. You shouldn't be doing shit like that. This is type of shit that goes unsaid. You shouldn't have to. You shouldn't have to tell grown ass people not to lick products and put it back on the shelf. So if people want to try to go at Bluebell for not having a seal, you guys can fuck off because this the type of stuff that goes unsaid. You know not to do that shit. Listen, I know kids that know not to do that shit. You know what I'm saying? It's like, what are we doing here? Now I can see if it doesn't create a seal, I can see where the argument is, but we know that it does. Everybody bought Bluebell ice cream. Everybody bought ice cream out the store
If
before.
it doesn't create a seal, why are you reaching in there in the first place?
That's true.
And first of
Exactly.
all, whatever
Right.
happened to the thing that used to be known in Chinese shops when you would go, you break, you buy.
Right. Right.
She broke it. She needs to buy
Right.
it.
At
She
least
needs to pay restitution on top of that.
at the very least, you need to buy it and get a misdemeanor charge at the very least.
No, she
But if
needs a
anything,
felony.
no,
She
I
needs a
agree.
felony.
She deserved to be have a be felon. She deserved to be charged with a felony, and she need to get. I personally think she should get jail time because you never know who
Yes.
somebody could have bought that stuff. Matter of fact, somebody probably did buy it, not even knowing, and ate that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Shoot, on the other one, there was a guy stocking the shelves, right? So I was trying to figure out was that either set up or that person that didn't see what she did, because I swore up and down he was probably focused on his work, but he was looking in her direction, probably looking at her ass. But I'm just saying, it's one of
No
those things
telling.
that you just gotta be on your job. Huh?
No, I'm saying no
What was that,
telling.
BF?
No, I'm saying no
Oh
telling. You
yeah,
might be
he
right.
probably.
You probably was looking at
Well,
her ass.
she
No
was
telling.
kind of curvy, so I think he was looking at her ass, not paying attention to the work. But yeah, they all need jail time. They all need felonies on their records, all of them, including that cross-dressing one. That whatever it was, it just
Yeah, that's fucking gross. I ain't got nothing else
sick.
for it. It's fucking gross. I mean, I don't care,
Yeah, I
man.
had nothing after that. I was done after that.
Yeah, once again, man, this is First and Frame Race, episode 74, another successful episode in my book. Thanks for everybody who come in to the podcast a day early. Tomorrow's a holiday, so we won't be here. Once again, I'm not going to go through the whole spill. Catch the affiliate link down below if you want to get an intro for your videos and or live streams. It really helps a lot if you use that link on both ends. It helps us, and it also helps you because you get a major discount for using whatever intro that you decide to buy. Once again, you can put your own, spin on the intros, your ads, your logo, whatever. Um, we're going to continue to do what we do. We're going to enjoy the holiday. We're going to have more topics for you guys for next week. We'll be back. We should be back on Thursday, so that actually is a plus, to keep the regularly scheduled program going. And we're just going to continue to play these games, talk sports, and roast each other and others on Twitter. DJ, what you got?
One last thing. Give a round of applause for VF for introducing unskippable ads to First and Frame.
I know, right? Oh,
I'm about
man.
to say, you was midway through that last one. I was like, oh, here we go again.
Speaking of unskippable ads, yo, I saw that. I know, right? I saw that actual show that 2K was they actually promoted on their game. Yo, they should be able to get in trouble for that. Did you see that show?
Yeah,
that
I
they
know.
promoted?
I know.
Yo,
Yeah,
I never heard
it's
of it until
for
then.
adults.
Yeah. I mean, you got a game that's E for everyone, and the first thing I see when I look at the ad is some guy spinning a gun shooting somebody. It's like, whoa, whoa.
Oh,
Like, yo,
yeah.
what are we doing? I mean, like, you got kids that play this game and they're learning, they're hearing about a show that's not for them as an ad. I don't know if they're
Well,
still doing that ad, but they can get in real trouble for that. I kind of understand, not even the unskippable part, just the actual ad itself. I can see where people be upset about that.
now the thing about that I hear is that if you turn off the 2K TV portion while it's loading up, you won't see any of those ads. So those ads are optional.
Okay, okay,
So it could be unskippable, but that's if you have the 2K preview before while your game loads up on. You turn
okay.
that off, you won't see that ad because the ad is associated with the 2K TV. So turn that off, and no one wants to see that show anyway. I think they need to get rid of it. I
And
don't think it
2K
is
TV
as
haven't
popular.
and 2K TV haven't been the same since what 2K14? Didn't that when it first started?
It
2K14?
hasn't been the same since since the one chick left. So
Yeah,
like
yeah,
she
yeah.
left midway through this cycle, and yeah, and it's been. I'm like the person they got to replace her.
Not the same.
Whatever.
Yeah.
She's eye candy, and that's it.
Well, yeah, you know how that goes. Anything you want to say before we get out of here?
No, that was it.
Oh well, next Thursday,
I'm
catch us.
good.
All right, cool. Next Thursday, catch us. Same old thing, same old, doing the same thing. And great show, DJ.
Great show, VF. Battlefield 4 tomorrow at 12.
Yeah, if I'm playing, I'll be on there with him. If not, watch him anyway. All right, guys, peace.
All right, peace out.